Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video, and we are heading across the Halifax Harbor on a fantastic day, and we're heading over to St. George's Island. That was the former name, now called George's Island, and we're going to check out an old island, over 300 years old, of wars, prisoners, and it's only been open since 2020, so we're going to get a glimpse of the past here in Nova Scotia. This island had prisoners, 2,000 of them. It was an island called for Fort Charlotte, named after Charlotte of King Charles back in the day. During the First World War, from 1914 to 1918, a large chain mesh net was suspended across the harbor here. And right here is one of the large blow-up mines from a long time ago.
This isn't a real one, but this is like a bomb.
This is just a replica, like but that's kind of the size of them back in the day. And right here we have another older building, and we're going to try and check out to see what it's used for back in the day. And this structure right here was the married officers' quarters. So it's the original architectural drawings right here, as you can see, back in the day. And 1900s is kind of when it was built, and is occupied by the commanding officer, Royal Artillery Garrison of the George's Island. Let's take a look inside. Yeah.
There's another bedroom. Dad, there's another bedroom here. And come here. Come in this room. And this is the kitchen. Something missing.
What's that?
This is a kitchen. This is going to be the fridge or.
Thank you for the commentary. I didn't have to say anything because this little guy did.
Hi. This is a very old house. The workers put it here, right?
Yeah.
And put this.
This is where Robert Ross, who worked at the lighthouse just over there, lived for 44 years. One of the first troops that were deployed during World War I was the 1st Regiment Garrison Artillery back during World War I. You can just imagine what that was like here on the island. It's a nice day today, but it can be real cold out here on some days, especially with the winds and the cold air blowing in. And just under here, you can definitely see the tunnels and the wall where the military and the prisoners were for hundreds of years of history just right in here. Prisoners, military, you name it. And we'll see if we can get a glimpse inside there in just a sec.
It's wet in here.
It's wet.
Well, how's it wet in here?
Feel the walls sharp.
Sit here.
Well, they, oh, I'm sorry.
What's this one?
Stuck in here.
Oh, it is
Careful,
careful.
darn it. Are you good?
You can even tell here we got some moss growing on the walls of the. This is actually the garden room, and over there is the mechanism that opens and closes the bridge here at the fort. We'll take a look at that in just a sec. But nice and cool in here right now. So right here is what they use to close the bridge outside for people coming in and coming out. Pretty neat.
Okay, ready?
And as you can see in all these different locations here, kind of like a giant horseshoe, that is where the cannons used to be. Basically all across the top of the island here. We've seen a couple earlier on. I think there's another one that we can find somewhere on the island, but as you can imagine, full view of any ships coming in, any enemies, and yeah, pretty cool.
So every single one of these would have a cannon, right? And it like the cannon like swivels.
I see the other cannon. So this building right here is basically a blacksmith building where they would fix tools, equipment, and you know, different artillery and weapons. And it's right on top here, as you can see, downtown Halifax. A lot of moving parts here back in the day, not so much right now, but a lot of different little areas as you can see, where they did a lot of stuff throughout the years. That kind of lead throughout the bottom of the fort. We found another cannon. Oh, there's another cannon over there as well. We were just finding cannons everywhere today. I'm not complaining. So in just this area over here, we have quick fired guns. You can imagine the massive power on this side of the island, just beside the cannons. And yeah, looking at those fast torpedo boats straight in the ocean, trying to take those out hundreds of years ago. So yeah, maybe this is the place I'd be. That'd be pretty cool.
And then there were the British, who is who I'm representing today. So I'm representing someone from the 3rd Brigade of Royal Artillery. They would have been stationed at the Halifax Citadel and other forts around the Halifax area from 1869 to 1871. So they were operating many of the artillery pieces that we'll see on this tour, like the 12-inch rifle muzzleloader in the lower battery. That's the big thing on this tour. And then in 1906, all of the fortifications around the Halifax area were passed from the British military to the Canadian Army, where they were used throughout both World Wars. And eventually in the 1950s, they were passed to Parks Canada, where they are today. Don't want to crowd this area too much, but here you'll see some of the historical tracks which would have been used to cart around many of the shots or stores that they used in the artillery pieces around Fort Charlotte. Also here you'll see a shot hoist, which would have been a system of pulleys and levers which would have been used to get shots and stores up to the upper battery. Because obviously some of these shots could weigh up to 400 pounds. Men couldn't really carry that around themselves. They had to rely.
Don't fall. Well, I'm in front of you, so I'll fall into you. And then you'll fall into the shot and break it. No, they're far enough away.
If anyone were to try to attack Fort Charlotte and they got past all of the long distance defenses, And they would have to go through the ditch, which is on either side of this Caponier. This Caponier would be where soldiers would be able to point out their rifles. You'll notice that these loopholes, looking out into the ditch, have much wider backs than they do at the other end. That was so that they could aim their rifles wherever they wanted into the ditch, but any shots coming from the ditch itself couldn't come in through the loopholes.
Pretty well done.
That was a
Very well built, like very strategic
Yeah.
things.
Sure looks it.
That's what I think too, right?
It is one of, if not the biggest historical weapon in the Halifax area. I will warn you, be very careful when touching it. It's quite rusty. We don't want any cuts or stains or stuff like that. Just keep that in mind. It took about 13 men to operate it because the shot itself weighed 400 pounds and it had a range of about 6,000 yards.
Well, that's our tour for today. Thanks for joining me here at George's Island in Nova Scotia, just across from Halifax. It's been a great day, great weather, can't complain. We will see you in the next video. Cheers.